How's it going, guys? Dan here with Kiwi-Strength. So still breaking down the bench press. So today we're going to go over how to set up an arch, we're going to go over the feet positioning, also to bring the shoulders in, we're going to go over the getting up on the traps, breathing, and then we're going to actually go over the flat back as well, how to set that up. And then another video, we'll finish it off and we're going to go over bring the bar out, the bar line, all that kind of stuff in another video, okay guys? But just today we're going to go over setting up the arch versus setting up a flat back. Alright guys, let's get into it. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with slightly adjust this camera. Slightly adjust it. There we go. Alright, so we're going to set up an arch. You see my feet? Yep. Alright, so we do this from, obviously there's a few different ways to set up an arch, but I'll just go over how I teach it. Remember, I'm doing these videos for people starting out. Obviously if you're more advanced stuff, this is just more of a recap, brushing up on your skills, okay guys? So, just starting out, we're going to lay down the bench. We're going to push ourselves back off the bench, so the head's off the bench and the pads on the back of our neck, and then we're going to bring our feet back, depending on your flexibility, how tight you are on the hip flexors, it will determine where your feet position will be. Alright, because remember, the more you bring it back, when you're that far back, when you push yourself down, if you're too tight or you're quite a bigger lifter, there's no way it's going to keep you. You have to put your feet forward. That's kind of the purpose of what we're trying to do. We're trying to set it up so the feet are set straight away, nice and tight, right? So I'll talk about setting up if you're tight and setting up your core flexibility. Okay, you can really get into that big arch. Alright, so I'll lay down, I'll set the feet first, wipe back a bit. I can't fly, I'm about to push down like that, but I'll talk about that, and then I'll put the feet more forward, and we'll talk about that if you're haven't got the mobility, flexibility, and hips and stuff like that, alright? So let's set it up. So, go right back, so head's off, and your feet. Alright, so if I had good flexibility, I'd set them about there, out a bit, and then I grab the rack and I push myself right down so my eyes are in line with the bar. Okay, you always want your eyes in line with the bar, because that's going to mean when you take the bar gets taken out, you're not going to end up hitting the rack. Okay, if you set up your eyes like back here, you're guaranteed when you bring it up you're going to clip it. Okay, so don't do that. Alright, so there's no way I'll be able to push down like this. There's no way. So for me, if you haven't got very good, if you're really tight through here, you probably find your feet out, probably about there. So that's probably maybe 45 mission. I can't really see it. Well, that's quite straight, isn't it? That's 45. Yeah. So for me, about there. Some people I train, they're about there. It all depends on the person, remember? Everyone's individual. So for me, I'm about here. Remember, if you've got flat feet, if you have to compete in flat feet for powerlifting, same rules apply. The only difference is you'd set your feet so you wouldn't come up. So if you come this far back, I would say you'd have to bring your feet forward more, about here. So your shins are angled, and you'll take your feet out. Taking your feet out on the bench will help stop the pop in your hips. Because if you pop in your hips before you drive the bar up, that's all the pop you could have had in your chest. Alright, you've lost a lot of power. So we're trying to stop that. So by putting your feet outwards more, it's going to mimic that and it's going to stop it. Alright, so tying everything up. Alright, so we'll do. I should do 3 versions. We'll do feet, the heels up and the heels down. Alright, first one will be my setup, the heels go up. Alright, so I push down, getting those shoulder blades together. Nice and tight, get those shoulder blades nice and tight together. Alright, because if your shoulder blades are out, you have no drive off the bench, alright? Now, see my feet aren't quite right now, so I put all the pressure on this foot, take this foot out, and bring this one back. Alright? You can adjust your feet, but you're going to make sure you hold all the pressure on one foot when you do it, and then do the other one, so you don't lose that tightness. Alright? Now, see my feet, my heels, there's no drive in yet. I see a lot of people, when they bring their feet back, thinking that just because they're off, the heels are off the ground, and the feet are back. See, mine are more towards my hips. That's going to give them more power. But if you haven't driven the heels down to the floor, even though one won't touch, see the engagement? That's all tight now, loose. See, a lot of people bench like this. That's not doing buck all. So you've got to make sure you drive down like that. And that's what we set up on. Okay? So that's me set. Heels driven down to the floor. Shoulders tight together. Alright, now set the bench. Alright, remember the bench press, the bench isn't going to be comfortable. General rule that I always tell everyone is if you're feeling comfortable in the bench press, it ain't right. Okay, it's especially if you're in competition or you're doing for a max tank in the gym. It's only one lift. It's, you know, who cares if you're in pain for a little bit. Alright, and if it's reps, guaranteed after third or even fourth rep, you're going to get looser in your setup. Alright, because you might slide or something on the bench press. Now, I've reupholstered these benches with like non-slip upholstery, so we don't need to worry about slipping. But if you've got a slidey bench or something, just grab a band and attach it so it runs down the centre, and that will give you a bit more grip. Alright, so that was the feet up, the heels up, sorry, how you set up with an arch. So next I'm going to set up with the heels down, okay, because different federations have different rules. So we'll set up with the feet down. You can't really see my feet there. You wouldn't be able to see my heels, so I'll put the camera down a little bit. Okay. Alright. You don't really need to see my head anyway, but just need to see my feet. Alright, so I'm going to set up, go back. For this, I don't need to quite go back for me personally. I'm not going to set up with my head right back off the bench. I'm going to come back a little bit. Alright, so for me, angle my feet. I want my feet flat the whole time. Alright, so I don't want to come back under my hips, because when I push myself down, my feet will come up. But I want to go out, because I want to create the tightness and try and mimic that hip pop. So when I'm driving, there's no hip pop and all that energy that I'm pushing my feet, it's going straight to the bar. Alright, a lot more explosive power off the chest. So, just, there you go. I'm all set up. Feet are pretty good. I haven't benched like this in a while. I feel like they're kind of straight. There you go. Eyes are around the bar, shoulder blades are tight together, lats are engaged. Yeah. I drive my feet flat, more off the heel, midfoot, heats of power. Make sure you're just not driving in the bar is on your chest before you press. You want to be driving the whole time. It keeps it tight. Okay? So that's flat foot. Right. Now, we're going to set up flat back. Alright, and I'm just going to show you, same rules apply. The only thing we're not doing is not doing an arch. There might be a slight arch in the back, but be very little. Generally find the flat backs and more guys, some of the biggest benches in the world are flat back. Alright, so you just go for it. Remember, what best suits you is going to be what suits you best, alright? That didn't even make fucking sense. Alright, come on guys, let's do flat back, alright? So, we don't need to go right back. All we're going to do is I'm going to set up, you still want to put your shoulder blades together, alright? Now I'm going to set myself up under the bar, so my eyes are in line with the bar already. Okay, shoulder blades tight together. Right, now I'm going to set my feet Remember outline, flat foot or heels up, you can choose, but that's more flat back for me. Alright, I'm pretty much flat back, like there's a little tiny arch here, but really bugger all. Alright, I could bench like that quite comfortably. Alright, remember if your heels up, I could just flick them back like that and driving the heels to the floor, like there, then keeping that engaged. Flat, just like that. Because I am tighter up like this though, more drive. Okay. Right, that's flat back, and arch sit up, heels down. And that's it. Alright, remember, you're in training, we're in the gym, so take your time. Doesn't feel right, just redo it. Remember, the bench isn't going to be comfortable, it's going to hurt like hell on the sit up, right guys? Alright, but if you subscribe, next video on bench press, the series will be taking the bar out, bar line, and driving back up, everything like that. Alright guys, catch you later.